Okay, o problem 1 nila yun. So, na-discuss na sa previous slides, na-discuss na ang formula for the alkalinity of, in solving for the alkalinity. So, for problem 1, we have this, what's the alkalinity of domestic water sample that contains 45 ppm or milligrams per liter of carbonate, bicarbonate, and given the pH at 1.1. So again, ang factors or ang factors that contributes to the alkalinity of water is both the carbonate, bicarbonate, and of course the hydroxide. So ang hydroxide po yun na yan sa pH. So you have the direct formula na kanina. The alkalinity is equal to the concentration of the carbonate times the, actually this is the gravimetric ratio, 50 over yes. Ano yung gamit? Yung 50 over 30. Okay. Plus the concentration of the bicarbonate times 50 over 61 plus 50,000 times 10 raised to the negative 14 minus H. Yun. So it's a straightforward formula. So naka ppm, and this one already naka ppm naman siya form. So direct substitution na naman siya. So you have 45 ppm times 50 over 30 plus your carbonate 78.3 times 50 over 61 bicarbonate plus 50 times 10 raised to negative 14 minus 12.4. Ilan sa Okay. So the unit is milligrams per liter or ppm. Okay. Of what? In terms of ano na ilang ang aton niya quantity sa alkalinity in terms of calcium carbonate. Okay. So basically this one here sa equation are simply gravimetric factors. So meaning carbonate ion, okay, converted to equivalent sa calcium carbonate. This one also bicarb equivalent sa calcium carbonate. And this one, hydroxide equivalent sa calcium carbonate. So ang total ng amount na nakuha niya is actually the milligrams per liter equivalent of calcium carbonate or calcium carbonate equivalent, or we call it alkalinity. Okay, next. Problem 2. So for problem 2, still alkalinity of fresh water of a dolomite plant is approximated as 1286 milligrams per liter. The carbonate and the bicarbonate are given. What is the pH of water? So again, this time pH naman, we use the same equation. We're given the alkalinity and the concentrations of carbonate and bicarb. Ayaw naman sa mga So the same equation, ships all. So you have alkalinity is 1286. That is equal to the concentration. Naka ppm naman tanan, no? So 145 times 50 over 30 plus 84 times 50 over 61 plus 50 10 raised to negative 14 minus that pH. So, ano yung ang pH? Okay, kaya ba ni Canon? Diretso mo na eh. Mga pinaka-seconds. Kaya ni Canon. Thank you. Ilan na?
12.29.
12.29. Okay. So, approximately. Ako nyo guys, tanan na nag-reflect kay si Canon. Question. Sige. Go lang.
I guess I found it. Oo.
Because, you know, it's a home use. And hold on a second. Here. Okay guys, 12.29. So closest is 23. The difference is due to rounding off lang kaya nag-diretso na ito chipson. So mas nag-accurate siya to 200 space. Okay? Next, determine the total hardness of water containing the following TDS. TDS. Total dissolved. So hardness, when you say hardness, ang main contributors lang are your what ions lang ang na-measure when we say hardness?
Magnesium, calcium.
Yeah, calcium na and magnesium. So, usually kung hindi given, so syempre ang is like itang given, no? It will make you get confused. Pero once you stick to the definition of total hardness, you need to realize that you don't need the concentration of ferrous chloride. Because we're talking about hardness. So, dapat rin na calcium chloride and magnesium chloride. Then, how do you solve that one? Ang hardness naka in terms of what? A measure of what? Ang hardness. Around, same na naka in terms of calcium carbonate. Again, so actually, it's like the same ang iyang formula sa alkalinity. Ano lang ang lain? Siyempre, ang aring calcium, magnesium, and then we don't have the hydroxide because it's not a contributor sa hardness. Okay? Now, ano siya by the way, isang area, ang area ng part ng 50 tapos ang 30 sa direct compute na portion, and then this one. What do you call these numbers? These are your gram equivalents. Okay, meaning gina-convert siya natin into gram equivalents para hindi nakabumakonfuse sa stoichiometric ratio. So, molar mass divided by the valency, that's the gram equivalent. Like for example, this one is actually, so kung sa gravimetric factor, supposedly molar mass is sa calcium carbonate. But then, this is a gram equivalent. So meaning yung sa gram equivalent, molar mass divided by the valency. Ang valency sa calcium carbonate is 2. So you divide this one by 2. Okay? Same with this. 30 here is actually the molar mass of carbonate ion. The carbonate ion, what ilan nila ang molar mass? That's 12 plus 48. 60. You divide it by 2. Because ang valency sa calcium carbonate is 2. Based on this, sa charge niya. Okay? So of course, this one is also calcium carbonate. And this one is the molar mass of bicarbonate divided by its valency na 1. Okay? Same is true with that. So ang approach nga approach is, before kita mag-compute, i-convert nyo siya in terms of their gram equivalent. Like for example, what's the gram equivalent of calcium chloride? Or in that case, ang measure natin is calcium ion lang. So hardness, similar equation, para na at least isa yung dito maluluman ng formula. That is concentration ng calcium times 50, that's the gram equivalent of calcium carbonate, divided by the gram equivalent sa calcium ion, that's 40 divided 2, tama? Because ang mga valency is 2 daw, so that's 20. Plus, the calcium concentration of magnesium 2 plus, then times 50 over, ilang magnesium? 24. Divide 2 ulit, yung valency mo is 2. So, 12. Muna na measure sa hardness. Tignan sa, sige. Let's check that.
850. Nasa bitaw kasi. Ano siya ginawa? Ang isa? Same lang. Wala, hindi. Nakibay wala siya.
get your total hardness. Tignan mo ako guys. 8. Ilan?
850.
850. Calcium chloride. Ay, wait.
Kaya mo rin. Kasi
Mag-sure ba? Ay, nga 50 ah. Dapat 100.
kaya na mga na
Tama ba? 25. Ay, wait, di ba? Nata sa...
kahit sa food.
Ilang gram equivalent sa mga tissue? Based on this one. Wait na pala siya na-converting ng concentration sa calcium, magnesium, chloride na ngayon. Para kung mag-gravimetric factor, ito mo yan ay. Tama? So meaning, it's not straightforward. Ang concentration sa calcium 2 plus, mag-gravimetric factor, mga mo din. So for example, calcium 2 plus came from calcium chloride, 176.2 times molar mass of calcium chloride. Ilang molar mass ng calcium chloride? Sige ba? Ano ba? Ilan? 110.98. Take out molar mass ng isa calcium chloride, then you have here 40 ng calcium 2 plus, which is calcium chloride. Ilan siya? So, ito lang ito medyo so, you get so much? 63.651. That is in here. Then, the same with calcium, concentration of magnesium 2 plus. We get from magnesium chloride, that's 98.3 multiplied to magnesium chloride, molar mass, 95.21. Ang molar mass sa calcium chloride, magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride, 95. Tama ba ako niya? Can you complete this after the table? If we have the same, then this is 24. So we get you will have 24.78. Pero ano niya, ang molar mass. Okay, sige, gamay lang natin yung plus. Alright. Then, ano mo na yung topic niya? Okay. Now, what's the hardness? So, again, this is magnesium. Yung plus, this is magnesium. 260. Okay, ppm. That is hardness in terms of calcium carbonate. Please let me know kung may nasulat. Okay lang? So, take care from the direct, ha? Concentrations ni sa isang ions ang provided sa atin are this one. In terms of chloride, wow, yung madalang equivalent concentration using your gravimetric factors. Okay? Then I proceed to number 4. Number 4. Determine the temporary hardness in terms of quarks weekly for water contained in the following. So, you have two types of hardness, temporary and permanent. So what's the difference between the two? Yung temporary, panandalian. So this type of hardness actually is easy to remove. Like for example, kung meron kang temporary hardness sa water, by simply boiling it, ma-precipitate na siya dayon into insoluble material pag ma-filter na siya. That's why temporary. Okay? But for permanent, hindi kaya sa boiling. Okay? And it requires chemical treatment. So, di ba sa temporary hardness, ang presence dapat is, anong types of hardness is presence of bicarbs. Ang permanent should be chloride and sulfates. So, again, you're given this materials. This one is doubly given naman. It will make it difference. So, temporary hardness in terms of Parkes degree. Okay? So, again, mag-compute sa hardness, still same. Okay? So, the hardness is again, this time, concentration naman sa bicarb. Okay, tingin ba ka bicarb from two sources? Okay, times ito na 61. Ano na yun? Tama? Pero, ang bicarb mo has two sources, okay? So, it will came from the calcium magnesium bicarb. Magnesium bicarb. And calcium. Tama? Okay, so we need first to compute for the total that is equal to pilamolar mass, mass amount 7.5 times gravimetric factor. Pilamolar mass sa magnesium bicarb. Tapos this one is 61. 61. Ay, pila na din molar mass, guys. So meaning, ang total source ng bicarb is from your magnesium bicarb.
HC.
Okay, plus the other one came from 60 times 61. Okay. Pila molar mass ang ano, guys? Sa magnesium bicarbonate. 146.25. Wala po, okay lang, ragot na lang siya. Process na nila ragot na. 146, basta wala na gamay lang. Alright, this one is calcium bicarb. Ilang molar mass ang calcium? Sorry, calcium bicarb. Calcium bicarb. 162. Pero, take note to, naka-subscript 2 na siya. Ay, naka-subscript 2 grade 1. So, meaning, pinanata ka, hindi naman mo reply 2. Hindi. Sa bed. Ano?
Okay. Naka-times doon.
Ay, times 2 yun na, eh? Ay, okay. Sige. Last one, ka. Wait. Ang 146, magnesium bicarbonate, siya tama. Pero dapat may times 2 mo sa pagkao. Pag-brown mo lang sa... May times 2 ka na nila ka to. And also here. May follow, guys. Dapat naka times 2 pa. Because there are 2 moles of bicarbonate in every 1 mole of this compound. Kasi na?
17.56.
Yeah.
17.56.
17.56.
56.
then ready na siya to compute for this one. Okay.
15.0.
Ano yun? 15.0. Wait lang. Ay, sorry. Tama na sa 15 na naka-ppm pa niya. Wala pa tayo naka-multiply here. Bilang hardness. Sakto na. Naka-ppm pa na. So we have 17.56 multiplied to 15 over. Ilan guys? 15.01. Okay. ppm. And you convert this one to Clark. 1 ppm is 0.07 degree Clark. Mas iba sa degree Clark? Or should it?
CL.
Ano?
CL.
As in, kung may degree Clark. Okay. Ilan? 1.0 degree Clark. Right. Question. Alright, next is about water pollution. So in water pollution, we categorize the sources of pollution into two parts. We have the point and the non-point sources. Okay? Of course, when you say point sources, mapinpoint siya na halin ang inyong weight, ang inyong contaminants. Okay? Pero kung non-point, syempre, hindi na siya ma-determine kung where exactly is the source. Like for example, when you say surface runoff or bad runoff. So, kasi runoff, dito siya sa mga palayan, di ba, irrigation. So, pero pala kung di ito yung halin ang source, kasi pagpupat sa dagat, na-mix na sila, kaya runoff na sila pagpuputo. Okay? Then, these are some of the different contaminants, no? Or pollutants. Oxygen demand, nutrients, basically from nitrogen and phosphorus. We have the hydro, the pathogenic organisms. We have the suspended solid. Wait lang, sorry. But yung or not.
Alright, so let's continue. So these are another types of pollutants. So we say pollutants, of course, these are substances that when mixed with, we were talking about water pollutants. Okay, these are substances that when mixed with water, it makes water unfit for its specific purpose. Okay? So again, here are the summary on the different pollutants. So we have here the for toxic chemicals, we have this one, ferric hydroxide. And then some pollutants na sa water, once you ingest the water that contains, let's say, mercury from this material. So one possible disease that you may acquire is what we call the Minamata disease. And for cadmium, you call it the Itay disease. Okay? So anyway, this one is the condition for a Minamata disease. Okay? And this one is Itay. Then I forgot what it's a Japanese term for ouch. Ano ako sakit kung natawag mo. Okay. Next, let's have the theoretical oxygen demand. So when say theoretical oxygen demand, it is basically the oxygen requirements sa stoichiometric reaction, meaning ang oxygen required to oxidize all the present elements in the chemical formula of the compound. So you call it theoretical oxygen demand. So meaning, if you want to solve for the oxygen demand, the THOD, dapat you have the idea sa chemical formula. Okay? But for, let's say, COD, hindi niya cash on delivery, it's chemical oxygen demand. Okay? So it's a measured quantity that does not depend on your knowledge of the composition or chemical formula of the material. Okay? So the other definition is it's the total oxygen requirement, okay, let's say isa organic waste na present sa water. Okay? Then we also have ang BOD ba na okay, wala. So there is the term BOD. What's the meaning of BOD? Biochemical oxygen demand. So for the biochemical oxygen demand, the idea is it is now the oxygen required by the microorganism so that it can degrade or consume any organic components sa source, let's say wastewater. Okay? We have two types. We have the carbonaceous BOD. Obviously, ang definition niya, ang oxygen demand sa micro para makonsume niya ang carbonaceous components sa mga organic load. Okay? Then we also have the nitrogenous BOD. Okay? And the definition is, this is the oxygen requirement so that your microorganism could consume the nitrogenous components ng organic load. Okay? And it is also the reason why ang rason why yung report is BOD5. Ganun yung 5 days, so wait lang ang so BOD5, hindi pagka sa wala yung analyze ng walang reason na BOD5. The reason for that is, if you extend longer, ang compute ng BOD is also the nitrogenous. Okay? So ang assumption sa BOD5 is that it's the oxygen demand for the micro to consume the carbonaceous component lang. So kung nag-extend ka 6 days ng OT ka, okay? So ang reading mo will be both the carbonaceous and the nitrogenous. Okay? Right. I guess may si Sir Pao, why is it it's not really used ang biological oxygen demand. What we have is the biochemical. And this is the BOD level for the certain water quality. So naka-ppm. For 1 to 2, we say that it's a good quality of water. Take note, ang BOD is a good measure kung ilang amount sa organic load sa material. Okay? So kung mas ang organic load, mas taas BOD, meaning mas big po. Okay? That's the measure. Right. So we have this diagram. So this one, L sub O is your ultimate BOD. That's the maximum BOD sa source. Okay? So in the presence of microorganism that consumes the organic matter, okay? So through time, manubo na siya ng mga BOD. Okay? And then, this is the formula in computing for the BOD, not just the BOD5. Okay? This is the general formula. The BOD after some time T is equal to the ultimate BOD times 1 minus T raised to negative KT, where K is the reaction rate constant. So it is the first order, okay, chemical biochemical reaction. So the unit is always per unit time. In this case, per day. And then, usually, ang ating reaction rate constant is evaluated at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay? And take note sa kinetics, ang K is a measure kung ano kadasig ang reaction rate. Alright? The higher the value of K, the faster is the reaction. That's why it's important that you evaluate the correct reaction rate constant. Okay? Lain niya value at lain niya temperature. Meaning, your reaction rate is dependent on the temperature based on your Arrhenius law. Okay? So we have here the heuristic value for estimating the different value of reaction rate constant at different temperature. So again, the reference temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. So for domestic water, wherein you evaluate it between 4 to 20 degrees Celsius, from this equation is approximated as 1.135. Then you use this formula. Dapat may idea kita kung pila initially ang value sa K at reference temperature 20. Then, total data raised to T minus 20. At different range, you use its value for data. Okay? Next, for the BOD analysis. So usually when you compute for BOD, ang ginagawa is you don't directly analyze raw sample. Like for example, kung may discharge ka, makalugos ka itong sample, hindi pwede na daluin mo siya dahil sa laboratory, then whatever ang sample, ang munang amount in-analyze mo. The reason is, if the source is very polluted, okay, ang imong analysis or ang imong equipment could not read the range sa amount sa BOD present. Okay? Unless otherwise, gamay niya ang let's say, ang imong history is gamay ang pollution sa source, pwede niya diretso analyze. But in practice, what we do is ginabiliyot na siya na natin. Okay? Because again, if the source is very polluted, it will be beyond the range sa equipment to read the values ng BOD. But then, the general idea is, it's a material balance that the BOD of the diluted sample, the amount, note this balance is like dilution equation. Ang M1V1 equals M2V2. The basis for that is, if we're talking about amount, okay, bisan diluted ang sample, the amount remains the same. Okay? So, ako na approach ng BOD. BOD ng sample, actual amount, is equal sa BOD sa diluted na sample, or we call it the prepared sample. Okay? And ang common BOD bottle na ginagamit natin usually is 300 ml na bottle. Okay. Problem number 5. So, compute for the theoretical oxygen demand of glucose. So again, theoretical lang ginapakita. So, you need to know the composition of the material, which is glucose. You need to know the chemical formula, and then you simply write the oxidation reaction of glucose. You need to do reaction balance. Okay, so what is the chemical formula of glucose? That is C6, H ano? 12. Tapos, O6. Then, it's like writing the oxidation of glucose, forming what? What's the product of oxidation of glucose? Water and CO2. It's like combustion reaction. Then, it's not yet balanced, so we need to balance it. Okay? Sila. Tapos, isang H2O. 6 na lang. How about this one? 1 lang. Alright. Then, we're given that the glucose is 108.75 milligrams per liter. If you compare it with here, the ratio is 1 mole of the glucose reacts with 6 moles of oxygen. That is in terms of mole. Then, you can convert that in terms of mass. Ang 1 mole is how many grams for glucose? 180. Agree? That's 180 milligrams. Then, we have here 6 times of the mole of oxygen, which is 1 mole of oxygen gas. That's 32 milligrams. Millimole lang din. Okay? So, in terms of mass, the ratio is 180 over, ilan yun? 192. Okay? That's it. So we say that 180 milligrams of glucose is reacting with 182 milligrams of oxygen. Then, we simply compute the oxygen requirement. So the theoretical oxygen demand is equal to 108.75 milligrams of glucose multiplied to, there is 180 milligram of glucose reacting for every 192 milligrams of oxygen. So that is 116 milligrams. Okay? So ang isis natin per liter, so pwede mo gawin. Or every 1 liter. Question, guys? Kailan? Alright, problem number 6. So you approximate the COP of 50 milligrams of urea. So COP siya, di ba, according to the definition, it doesn't really need na you know the composition because you will get the actual COP through the experiment. Okay? Now, since ako is to approximate, so it's like saying this is the actual, then to approximate it, we will solve for the theoretical. Approximate naman, ha? So the actual could be lower than the theoretical or slightly higher. Okay? Since we have no data, then we compute this using the theoretical oxygen demand. Since ang provide sa atin is the chemical composition of urea, which is NH2CO plus oxygen. Now, so guess the product. What's the product, guys? The product of the reaction of urea with oxygen is water, obviously, then CO2, and what's that? Nitrogen gas, or it should be nitrate. May reaction. Listen, may reaction previously. Yeah. What was the reaction? Nitrogen gas lang. Nandiyo ko lang pinapansin mo pagkaroon ng wala.
Yamanika CBOT.
Kaya, nasa kaya produce na discuss sa
Ammonia, manigan.
ammonia na yan.
Oo.
For urea, or the sa may product, wala naman akong sala if we cannot really balance it. Sige, can you try to balance this one? Nitrogen gas ang ref, ang final. Can you check this?
Ay, wala.
N2 din siya. Sige. If this is N2, sige ba? Then you balance that. Balance hindi.
Hindi, kulang to.
Kulang po ang water. Okay. Tapos,
Yung 2 months sa
kung sa L, sa NH2 tre, 2 kay tre, i-balance.
siya ino, 2. Oo, 2.
We have so water. We have Z. Okay, then
Ang M,
then
4.
is that balance? Can you check? Hydrogen is 2, hydrogen is 4, carbon is 1, oxygen is 4. 1, 2, correct. That's correct, huh? Yeah, so that's the balance equation. Then, we use the same approach. So, we did this one as 1 mole of urea reacts with, we have this 1.5 mole of oxygen. And then, 1 mole of urea is how many milligrams or millimole, how many millimole. Molar mass of urea at 1.5. Yeah. 60. Alright. So it is the same as 16 grams or 16 milligrams of urea for every 1.5 times 32 milligrams of oxygen. Tama. Or this is 16 milligrams urea for every 48. And then we compute for CMP as 50 times 60 Ano ba ba ang answer? Ano ba? Ilan? 62. Wala answer. So I guess it's not nitrogen gas. So dapat nitrate. Kaya wala na. Sige, let's try. If this is NO3 minus, then we will change the coefficients. So I'll raise this one again. So you rebalance this. Ano sa mga itong balance equation?
9 halves sa oxygen.
This one is 9 halves. Tapos,
2 sa water.
2 sa water.
2 sa 9.
Ano yun? Wala. Then, 2 man. Okay. Then, our stoichiometric ratio now is, ano yung millimole para uniform? 1 millimole of urea for every, allow it 4.5 millimole of oxygen, or, ano yung burners? 60 milligrams of urea for every 4.5 times 32 milligrams of oxygen. Then COP is 50 milligrams per liter of urea times stoichiometric ratio 60 milligrams for every 4.5 times 32 milligrams. Okay, so black. So we have 120 milligrams per liter. Yun. Question? Okay, let's have this one. Problem 7. Okay na? Move na kita. So we have a sample of slabs from a distillery is evaluated for BOD content. The BOD 5 of the sample is 12.406 ppm. BOD 20 is 18.43. That's milligrams per liter, still ppm. The question there is, what is the BOD of the sample for the 10th day? Okay. So read and here as slabs. Ano slabs, guys? That's the, it's distillation. That's the byproduct of what portion of the distillation process. Byproduct na siya sa ano, guys? Sa din na siya recover ng portion.
Sa beer? Beer column.
Sa
Beer
beer.
column.
Mash.
Or more or less throughout the portion distillation is once you supply mo na sa column. Before the column, what was the tank? Is the tank. The tank that is rich in the alcohol that we need to distill. Beer tank, or before that, you have the FS. Ang fermentation tank yan din yung part. That's what I'm talking about, the fermentation tank. Okay? Because after fermentation, the solution there is rich in alcohol. That's the one we concentrate sa distillation column, tama? Then the remaining material there is ang mga solids and other organic loading is the slumps, like the excess ng yeast, products ng iyang reaction during the fermentation, etc. Okay? So it is rich in organic load, so therefore it will have BOD. Okay? So now, ang given sa atin is the data that the BOD5 of the slumps is already 12.406. Okay, I'll have it bigyan.
BOD 20 is 18. Okay, now the question is, what is BOD? Ano yung mga itas ba? BOD 10. Okay? Ano yung itas ba? Tama? Now, from the equation of BOD, this is ultimate times 1 minus E raised to negative K T. May BOD 5 na eh. So it's K times 5. Tama? Then, the other one is also this one. Ultimate BOD times 1 minus E raised to negative K times 20. Okay? So may value, no? So all you do is, you divide this one so that you eliminate one of the variable, the ultimate BOD. Tama? So, ang K ang una nila sulbon. So, ang syntax sa calculator becomes 12.406 divided by 18.43 equals 1 minus E raised to negative 5K over 1 minus E raised to negative 10K. Variable mo si K, so you can use X. You shift solve, then K equals what? Process. Imagine i-eliminate na ang shift solve sa board exam. Then, your only equation mo na yun. Kaya mo na gawin yung algebra. .2185. What's the unit? First order per day. Then from there, next step is to solve for the you cannot solve first the BOD 10 because we're lacking the ultimate. Okay? So for this one, ay 20 na po, 20 na. 20 niyo, sorry. Ano pa lang ito yun. So you solve first for LO, the ultimate BOD. You use either of the equation here. Substitute CT. So pila ang ultimate BOD lang ay? Pila? 18.67. Then, pwede na, masolve si BOD10 from here. So, 18.67 multiply 1 minus e raised to negative 10 times the k nga 0.2185. And you get
16.57.
16.57. Yeah. And, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Next, we have this. We have what we call the DO SAG curve. Surrender na natin sa part. And we'll check. So what is a DO SAG curve? It is basically the curve that tells you the trend sa DO the moment in nag-mix na let's say ang imong effluent, like we call it effluent ang gina-discharge sa let's say certain industry, okay, and ang river kung diin mo siya discharge, okay. This ang curve is again the DO concentration throughout time. Okay, so if you notice, this is ang CS is the saturated concentration sa dissolved oxygen. But that's dissolved oxygen sa river. Okay, so we know what's dissolved oxygen. So CS meaning saturated concentration sa DO sa river. When say saturated, that's the maximum na ma-handle ni river na DO na dissolve niya. Other than that, ma-release na diretso sa atmosphere. Okay? Now this one, ang difference between, of course, ang mga DO and then the saturated concentration, the difference is what we call the DO deficit. Okay? So, pag butang mo sang waste sa, let's say, sa river, okay, what will happen is, syempre may micro ang river, it will use that DO para makonsume organic load na butang mo. Tama? So, initially, nang dasig ang consumption sa oxygen, so meaning that the oxygenation constant there is high, kaya ang organic loading. But after maubos ang organic loading, what happened is ang river mo is actually exposed sa atmosphere which is rich in oxygen. So after some time, it will now again dissolve oxygen sa itself para ma-reoxygenate itself. Okay, so that's why nasakaw ang DO concentration. Okay, so that's why we have this one, a side curve. So the portion here is what we call the critical DO, ang lowest point. Okay, isang side curve here. Okay? Now, the equation that relates the DO deficit no, sa certain river is described by this equation, that's Peter-Phelps equation. That's a very dead equation. Okay, pero that's the most fit equation no, to determine the deficit across the length sa imong river, for example. Okay? And unfortunately, this is the equation. So DT again is the oxygen deficit after some time. Okay? LA is the initial ultimate BOD. So ang initial ultimate BOD is actually solved using the flow weighted average. Now, meaning we need to solve for the ultimate BOD some source and some river. Ang W is for waste. So the BOD content is of course the Q. Okay, then times LW, which is, the LW ang ultimate BOD isang waste, water stream. Ang Q is the volumetric flow rate. So when you multiply, that's the amount. Plus, ultimate BOD isang river, syempre river on its own, may organic load man na siya. Okay, times its flow rate, that's the amount of its ultimate BOD, combined, total BOD, divided by total flow rate. Okay. Then we have there the KB is the deoxygenation rate. Siya ng K sa formula natin na rin. Siya ng K kung consumption sa oxygen. Kung reoxygenation, K is R. But then they are both reaction constant. Okay? Then, ang DO is the initial deficit. Take note, it's the difference sa mga deficit. Hindi na siya actual amount. So, ang deficit is ang difference from the saturated concentration, gina-provide niya. May ara kita wala na ganito, gawin natin equation. Pero may ara kita na value at a specific temperature, this is the maximum dissolved oxygen sa isang sample. Minus flow weighted average naman ulit sang DO, same formula right here. Ultimate BOD lang na, this one is DO lang. Okay? That's it. Nakuha na ang parameters. Then, this is the Stifler-Bell equation. So, meaning, it will tell us kung pila na ang deficit sa DO sa river after some time T. Okay? Using that equation. Medyo lalag siya. Okay? Next, we have the critical time. So, based dito sa DO sag curve, right here, this is the lowest DO. And of course, at the time where you reach the lowest DO is what you call the critical time. Okay? And this is, diba, ilugang ko na lang, no? Ang lowest point is the lowest, is the highest, the DO deficit. Tama? Kaya mo yung pinakata ko interval, alin sa saturated mo, tama? And the time nga highest ang deficit is what we call the critical time. And ang distance from kung dito nagsugod-dagdag ang waste, going to that time, nga critical time, is what we call the septic zone. Okay, yung pala the septic zone. Septic means not that clean. So, of course, obviously, the highest deficit there is the point wherein damunda mo gina-consume ang imong micro, meaning damunda mo dahiko. That's why it's called the septic zone. Okay? Check. And to solve for the critical time, we have the Holland equation. Still the same requirements sa kanina to. We have the oxygenation constant, the oxygenation, the initial DO, initial ultimate BOD. Okay? Then, problem 9. Fortunately, that's the last problem. Tapos, problem yung problem solving ang support ko na sir our basic concept ones na. Okay? So let's try to push our stamina. Can we solve? Let's pray na ma-solve natin ito na. Okay? So please, I need your help. Take na ang pangalan equation. We need this. Okay? Then this one. Okay, good. Now, are you ready? Kaya pa? Kaya pa? Understand nga na yun kung sa suba pa cool down na lang. Ako na yung pinakakapoy na part. Okay? Let's try. We have a city of 200,000 people. It disposes 1.05 cubic meter per second of treated sewage. Siyempre dapat treated, no? Yung hindi ko nakigas na kung that still has a BODU. Ang BODU is ultimate BOD of 28 and 1.8 of DO into river. Then, upstream from the outfall, the river has a flow rate of 7.08 volumetric flow rate, and the velocity of the river is given by 0.37 meters per second. Okay? Then, at this point, the ultimate BOD and the DO in the river are given 3.6 and 7.6. Respectively. The saturation value, na mo siyang ibo sa bunga saturated concentration sa DO at the given temperature is 8.5. That's the concentration sa dissolved oxygen at saturation. Okay? So, there ang basis mo karon sa oxygen deficit. Okay? Then, we're given also that the oxygenation constant KD and the reoxygenation. Assume complete mixing and that the velocity in the river is the same throughout, no? From upstream going downstream. First question is, what is the oxygen deficit just downstream from the outfall? So, outfall is kung gagwa ang imong effluent. Tapos tupak na yun sa river. Okay? Tapos nag-mix to sila sa river kag sa imong effluent. So, ang pamangkot, pila subong ang oxygen deficit. Okay? So, for part A, we have that as a part A. Okay? DO. Again, ang DO, may subscript is deficit. So again, the difference is saturated dissolved oxygen minus kung pila ang imo nga DO sa ang have it as mix. Tama mo ng imo oxygen deficit. This one, given na that's the 8.5. Ang DO mix siya. Ano yung pina-ultimate or... Okay, na oxygen deficit pa lang, no? Tama ba? Okay, so DO, oxygen lang yun, no? So DO mix, so we have the form na itong flow-weighted average natin. So we have the flow rate sa river or some waste times the DO sa waste plus volumetric flow rate sa river, DO sa river, divided by the sum of their flow rates. Correct? Then, compute. Pinasubok ang flow rate sa waste, pag-inara na. Around this process, 1.05 cubic meter per second. So that's the flow rate of the waste. Volumetric. Ilang DO? Ang BOD ultimate is 28, pero DO niya is 1.8. 1.8 ng part. Plus, river. Volumetric flow rate sa river, 7.08 times DO sa river, 7.6 divided by the sum of the flow rate na 1.05 plus ito na yung flow rate ay
7.08.
now pila sa buwan DO, this is not the DO of mixing. 6.85. Ano yun? Ito sinigan eh. Wala siyang state of TPM na lang. So DO now, deficit is equal to 8.5 minus 6.85. Pilas mo?
1.65.
1.65. Okay. So processed is around.
1.6.
Hindi naman pala mahirap. Ang part A. Let's have part B. I remember part B, nandun sa during our time, ang part B. You're trying to compute now, what is the DO 16 kilometers from the outfall? Meaning, pagtupa DO, syempre after some time, ang napayan, after 16 kilometers, pila di ang DO. Okay, what's confusing with that is, wala sa formula ang distance. Correct? But, hindi na dakong distance ang tuwawag mo, it's the time it takes to reach that distance. Kaya muna nga sa formula, di ba? Ang formula ni Streeter-Phillips tells us that after some time. So meaning, all we need to do is to compute how many seconds or hours it will take to reach 16 kilometers. Okay, we have the distance, we need the velocity to get the time. And we're given the velocity. Tama? So time is equal to distance over the velocity. Correct? Agree? Then, we have 16 kilometers, that is 16,000 meters, divided by velocity nga 0.37 meters, nyari meter per second. Now, it will be a big number. We'll convert it into days para cos. Kaya naka-days ang K. So, dapat uniform ang unit. Okay, so times, we have 2,600 times 24 is 1 day. Seconds niya. Tama? So, pilas ba? Yun. So, 0.5 days. Okay? So, meaning, pwede natin ma-replace ang problem niya. What's now the DO after 0.5 days? So, now, atong value is time. Mabutan ka kayo Streeter terms. Tama? Alright. So, now, what is the formula for Streeter terms? DO deficit pa lang niya. Deficit pa lang. Ang gila pa kayo sa itong problem is the actual DO. Pero makuha na siya parang, correct? Deficit lang danay. Meaning, DO deficit is DS, the saturated, minus the DO after some time T, correct? So, after some time T, the formula becomes the saturation minus the deficit. Tama? Ang mga ground natin. Gets? So, meaning rin pala tao ko, ang tani siya using the Streeter terms. Itong magina. Ano po formula? DT, itong DO. DT, no? Kasi DT na lang. Kaya niyo ba yan? Balik up sa Streeter terms eh. Yan. So now, let's look at the requirements for the Streeter terms. The ultimate BOD, tapos KD. Anong LA niya daw? Initial BOD. Sang mix na. So meaning, magamit ka mo nila. Pero, ultimate BOD is na ultimate BOD. So, LAKD over KR minus KD times E raised to negative KT times E negative KRT. Okay? Plus DO E negative KRT. Okay? Now, you solve for the ultimate BOD danay. So, LA equals the flow rate sang waste times its LA sang waste plus ng QR sang river, then LA sang river divided by QW plus QR. Okay, I'll go back to the problem para wala nang data. Yeah. Alright, go. So you have QW sang river again is still asang waste 1.05. This time what's the BOD ultimate? 20. Plus, Iyaka river na flow rate is still 7.08. Then, ultimate BOD sa river? 2.6. Not 3. 3. Okay. Divided by, okay, so we get 1.05 plus 7.0. Ilang ultimate?
6.75.
6.75. 76 na na. Okay? That is now the BOD. Okay. Okay, goods na? Ang DO, solve niya na eh. Di ba? Wala?
25.
Ay, wala. Ako, yata pa yung 6 ka pa eh. Pila? 7.5? Okay na? Hindi na ako magsugod eh. Okay na. Sinabot ka nyo compute now the kumplito ng given. All you do is to substitute everything. Tama? Time is 0.5. Okay? LA is this. KD and KR are given in the problem. DO is, ano siyang DO? Ano itong DO sa formula?
DS.
1.66.
Ano ito galing KR? Initial deficit. So, mination na ang part A kaginan. Ano yun? Tama? Sige, can you substitute everything? Then solve for the deficit of time T. Ready, go. $2.59 ang ipisip. Okay. Then plus mo ang DO.
5.91.
So, yan na, 2 point. Ang
59.
ang deficit na na 59. Okay? Then, you substitute it here. So, you have 8.5, tama? Minus 2.59. That is approximately
5.91.
5.91. Dira. Na. Alright. Next, part C. Part C, na sa amin na balanggi na, we need to locate the septic zone. So, ano nga septic zone? It's the distance wherein the DO is, the DO deficit is maximum. Okay? And the time to reach that is what we call the critical time. Correct? So, this time, ang kuha ng distance, ito para sa nagyapon sa approach. So, the distance is equal to time times velocity. Take note that the velocity is stated nga constant sa upstream kag sa downstream. Okay? So, if we're looking for the septic zone, that's critical distance. So, dapat ang gawin mo time, critical time times the velocity. Correct? Then, the critical time is given by the Holland equation. Ay, dire. So once you solve the critical time, you simply multiply it sa velocity, you get the septic zone. 1 over KR minus KD ln of KR over KD. So 1 minus D. Okay. That's for your reference. Then I'll go back to the problem. Okay. Can you please compute ilang critical time? This is part C. Naka-kilometer dapat ang unit. Plain answer.
Wala ko pa din na sila din siya.
Dila?
33.6.
Alright, so you get it, 33 points. So, binigay ko ako siya ng value. Ay, type lang. Ilan time yun ako, guys?
1.05
1.05.
245.
1.05 2. Wala?
Oo.
Alright. Tapos, ang ano yun? It's in days, no? Okay, naka-days nila. Alright. So, meaning if you multiply nyo pa rin sa 36,000 times 24 para mag-seconds, no? Then, your septic zone, SC, is, the distance septic zone is equal to this one. Ilan na siya in seconds, so para uniform.
8, 6,
Ano na yun ang pulpit? Times, so sige, diretso ko na lang, di ba? 1.052 days times 24 seconds. Okay, tapos I'll convert it directly to kilometers. Okay, para we get approximately 33.6 kilometers. Okay? Hindi mo siya deadly ano, basta may question na. Okay? Alright. Yeah. Question so far? The rest are i-run through ko lang ang concepts naman lang. Okay? At least nang ma-refresh nito sa concepts. Alright. Question number 10. Demineralization by soda lime or lime water is preferred over zeolite for domestic water. processing in some countries because the answer is letter A does not produce caustic in Britain. Okay. Next, chloramine is produced from what? From what? Reaction of chlorine and ammonia. Correct. Next. Which of the following is not a characteristic of drinking water? Not a characteristic. Free of dissolved solids in organics, free of pathogens, free of oxygen demand organics, free of minerals. Which is not. Is it a characteristic of drinking water?
No.
Yes. If free mo, meaning the absence of, bilang ko mga malasa. Free of, syempre, no, masakit yung marong pathogenic bacteria. Free of. Tamain, no, kahit organic clothing. Free of.
No.
Unless i-distill na ginainon nyo, itong getting purified or mineral water. Diba? Di ba yung mga electrolyte waters, they serves as electrolytes also. Pero yung Pocari Sweat. Social, Pocari Sweat. Okay? So, meaning, this could be a characteristic of so, dapat, hindi not necessarily na free of minerals. Unless, again, kung distilled na gusto. Okay? Next. Why is UV radiation superior to other methods of sterilization of water? UV totally sterilizes all pathogens, UV does not involve precipitation, UV involves energy consumption, UV radiation does not impart an unpleasant taste or odor to water. Ang lawig. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, pero that's correct also. But what is the disadvantage of UV? Costly, what else? Kasi basiwag, siyempre mo lang yung UV. Usually ang UV, ginagamit mo siya kung ang imo mga water na potable is direct, possible na yun. Because like kung nag-supply ka, mapatay mo siya at the discharge point kung saan mo i-release. Pero along the way, hindi mag-reupor ang bacteria. That's why si prime water, inject sila excess chlorine. Ang excess chlorine sa ato niya supply is for preparation in case no yung tubo rin ang bacteria. At least may ready ka residual chlorine. Okay? Pero again, the effect of that is no aftertaste. Hindi mo basiwas mo na. Wala akong ganyan. Ako ganyan, kung saan mo ko kabalo may chlorine. Okay. Anyway, what is peaking? Ano na, answer? Hindi na tagang answer pa. It's a corrosion of the boiler. So dissolved gases like oxygen, CO2, and corrode the iron surface. Obviously, because these are oxidants. Okay? Particularly near the rivets, vents, and leads to leak or void. Now, dili go for usually sa electrochemistry, ang redox reaction sa mga corrosion, iba corrosion sa redox reaction. Usually, go for man na siya sa mga vents. Okay? Sa vents ang mga metal. Okay? Because that provides space for oxygen. Okay? Kung airtight na siya, hindi na siya mag-corrode. Okay? Kung smooth ang surface. Pero kung may mga vents na lakagin, may magpupay na daan. So, may area ka for oxygen. The oxygen is part of the corrosion process. Okay? Next, what is clavus solvents? Then, here's the answer. Water transported through lead pipes are contaminated with, of course, your lead ion due to solubility of the lead in water. Okay. That's the risk, no? Of although ang purpose hindi mo tayo kung may lead coating ka for anti-corrosion. You call this one as your sacrificial anode. Okay. Why do we express hardness of water in terms of calcium carbonate equivalence? What's the answer? Calcium carbonate. Siyempre, parapos, wine. 100 yung mga mas. Wala na, no? Tapos na. Lagi ito ang water, hard water, so may presence of calcium. What's the origin of water hardness? We discuss ito ni Sir Pao. Atong latter word, latter. Anong word sa latter? Kaya ito ay.
Lather.
Diba? Pag ang water may soap,
Kag may add na
soapy water, diba? Ang wala niya. Kung ang water mo is hard, it's just... No. I say hard water, wala siya ka-form niya. Instead, ang gina-form niya is scum. Okay. So it's like saying, katig asiya pamuraon. That's why it's called hard water. Hindi siya. So, what are the salts responsible for temporary hardness? Naka-lex na ko bala. Sabi sa mga ganyan. So, nakadala ko bala yan. Alright, temporary hardness, obviously bicarbonates. Okay. Next, addition of calcium and magnesium salts in soap water will decrease surface tension. This is the main cause of latter, ang surface tension. Meaning, kung hard ang water, it will reduce this. Then, formation of scum. So, meaning letter. Kung na lang nakaya. Ikaw concept ng Sir Pao. Ano yung similar problem naman, no? Okay, sige. Biyogitin mo na ginagawa po. Alright. What is added in order to prevent caustic embrittlement in boiler pipes? Ano? Ano to? Ano rin ang ano niya? Ang cause niya is the caustic embrittlement. That is due to hardness. Tama? So, anong ginagamit niyo? Ayaw? This is what, ano din sa ngalan niya? Corrosive solvent. Pero hindi na matawag sa ito mo. Ang common name ng common name. Soda ash. Okay, that is soda ash. Diyan mo na ginagamit? Okay? Ang lime na muna yung calcium hydroxide. Okay? So kung soda, ano tawag yung lime soda treatment, combination of two. So what's the liquid? Okay? Computation na naman, can I leave this to you? Hardness naman, similar approach again na. Hardness mo lang yung pangita or given the concentration of the sources niya. Okay? Next, sample of hard water as hardness of 510 ppm expressed in degree. Can you have this? Tapos na niya. 510, siyempre, i-divide mo lang sa i-multiply. Tapos, ang degree French siya, 0.1. So, meaning 510 times 0.1 is degree French. Kaya, that's it. Good. May air pollution, pro concept ni Doro. Ayun, isa may competition natin. Wait na, sir, pa ako din niya sa kaya. Mas duwan ni ka part mo. Basta siguro pala air pollution.